Now, the reason we're talking about this is because I would say the chaos that was kind of coming to light on social media as this was all unfolding proved to be a little opportunity for the old prankster,
Mr. Fireworks,
bad boy Brace Belden, who had a little fun at some burners, well, really pretty much everyone's expense over the weekend.
Funnily enough, I think the burners were the least really affected by
they didn't have any cell service.
They didn't have any cell service. Although a few did manage to make counterclaims, which I, at that point, had gotten too bored to
I think everyone else
away.
got a little bit mad. So let's talk about what went down this weekend.
When was that? Saturday night?
Yeah, I think it was Saturday afternoon.
I was preparing for the episode that we were going to do today.
Yeah, which is coming next week.
And I was futzing around, and I got to be honest with you, reading a very boring
Don't tell them what it's about.
Okay, but I was reading a boring poli-sci book about the subject. Snoozing in my motherfucking...
No, you're going to say that, and then people are going to be like, oh, it's one of Liz's ideas.
It was one of my ideas. And then I was like, I was literally, at the moment that I stopped reading the book, I was like, was this a bad idea? And I get on the internet, and I see that Black Rock City, which is what Burning Man calls the temporary town that is set up every year to celebrate. That's like where everyone stays. It's Black Rock City. The Black Rock City Twitter account was basically saying like, do not travel to Black Rock City. Access to the city is closed for the remainder of the event, and you will be turned around. And at first, I quote tweeted and said that I had something about like, oh, there's bombers on the way. I'm here, and there's bombers on the way, and I was like, you know what? That's too unbelievable. And so then, I will say this for our podcast, we're never reading Twitter out loud to you guys. We're forced to do it a little bit today, but bear with us. Quote tweeted and said, I wrote, or my social media intern Mehmet wrote, the rumors on the ground here are that there's some sort of virus on the loose at Burning Man that causes boils / vomiting / hemorrhaging. Apparently, that's why they're not letting people in. No idea if this is true. Been in RV all day. And then source, M at Burning Man, Black Rock City. Which is just a little goof.
And yeah, it's just your little goof. Look, Mehmet likes to goof around.
Goof around like the pharaohs.
We're all just having fun here.
Yeah.
I will say at some point in the evening, I got a little bing bong on the group chat, which was, oh man, my Burning Man shit is kind of taken off now.
Yeah, Mehmet. That's auto-translate from who he speaks in ancient Egyptian. So I followed the initial one up with, they're not even letting helicopters take off from here. So yeah, quote, mud is causing this. People are really freaked out.
Yeah, so this did start to catch on.
Yes.
On Twitter, particularly because you included screenshots of supposedly real text message conversations that people took to be direct evidence of testimony on the ground.
So the first one is how I found out about it. This is how I captioned it. How I found out about it. Staying put for now, but really freaked out. And it is from a text messenger named Hirache.
That looks like, what is the photo?
For the photo I use, I just Googled guy having fun at Burning Man or something like that. And then like went a little down on the images page to find a guy that like looked. And so it starts, can you read Hirache's and just start from the top? Because the first sentence is a little cut off on purpose.
Pumping, pumping, pumping. Never seen anything like it. Did you see the tail thing he got put in?
Then I responded with a question mark.
Yo, just figured you should hear from me first. Daryl is crazy sick with something that has him coughing up really coagulated blood. Medic showed up wearing a full suit. No idea where he is now. I would stay in your camper.
And I wrote back, are you fucking serious?
I will say it does sound, it's pretty good. You did a good job of like writing a little.
Yeah, like.
In medias res.
In medias res. Yes. In medias Resident Evil. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to pretend that because it's taking off a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to try to pretend that there's bubonic plague there. And then there's another one I wrote that says they're putting up a fence. And this one, it basically just adds to the previous one. It says, but Hirache says, Grendel told me they're putting up a fence on the west side of the playa. Wrote who is, and he says outside agency. And then I just found some screenshots. And then I did a final one that I just wrote over, and it's a picture of Drake as the sort of text avatar, and his name is Scott in my phone. He says,
finally got cell charger. Saw your tweets. You're never going to fucking believe it, LOL. They're saying it's Ebola.
And so somehow, people really started to believe this.
So to be clear, this is a screenshot of a text message with the avatar is Drake.
A picture of Drake, kind of like in a bed.
Yeah.
Sexy
One of his,
style, when you send, like he's probably sent to Doja Cat or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a sexy style photo of Drake. It is inarguably, though, and recognizably a photograph of Aubrey Graham Bell? Aubrey Graham?
No.
Drake. It's a photo of whatever his real name is. It's a photo of Drake. Inarguable. It started taking off.
Yeah, a bunch of like serious journalists, like people with some real following, and I would say like who are,
Real journalists,
real people who should know better. We'll say that. Like quote tweeted it. Basically, is not saying is this real, but kind of like, wow, something's going on here. We need to investigate. Can anyone corroborate?
Yeah.
Like, and they eventually deleted them because they could. I think someone probably DM'd them and was like, all right, man, this is obviously a hoax. That's TrueAnon. Like, come on, but not quickly enough.
Not quickly. And I think to me, I'm just astounded that anyone could see source M at Burning Man. Mm-hmm. Be like, it seems crazy to me that anyone believed it even in the first place. But the first people that really picked it up was the site Red State, which is a conservative website founded by Ben Domenech.
Yeah.
Domenech, however you fucking say his name. And they wrote an article, and it's like a quick hit, basically like SEO article to maybe be first in line. And I followed it. I followed these tweets, this thread up with a tweet saying, if you're the person shooting something off at Burning Man right now, please stop. People are freaked out enough with all the Ebola stuff now as it is. So other people saw this and I want to be clear here. I didn't coordinate this with anybody. I'm not thinking about this in a crazy way. Other people started posting fake CDC screenshots.
Yeah, but they were just sort of picked up on the game. It seemed like
people sort of picked up on the game and
they just started trying to have fun.
Yeah, exactly, having fun with it. People were posting fake or how people will take a picture of a tank on the back of a train and be like, is this headed to our cities?
Yeah.
And people obviously Googled some old pictures of that, and I added those to the thread. I realized a lot of crypto blue checks were falling for it.
Yeah.
Or
we're just getting in the game to,
yes.
Well,
a lot of them were replying fairly earnestly because to be honest, if you're an NFT guy, you will kind of fall for anything. I could piss on you and be like, dude, this rain is fucking crazy out and it's hot. Oh, and it smells like the cloud ate some pineapple. But, I just started retweeting everything. I figured there were a few notes that I had to hit, and because I tweeted a lot more. And there was a few notes that I had to hit to make this funny, I guess. One is that I'm in an RV the entire time that I do not leave. 2, it is fully soundproof. 3, it is all windows and the windshield are completely covered in blackout curtains. 4, I have no water, but I'm drinking grappa. 5, I'm using Starlink to both navigate the RV, which is soundproof and completely blacked out, and to post, but the Starlink doesn't work that well. And so therefore I couldn't post pictures, even though I was posting images of screenshots. 6, that I was listening to Avicii. Mm-hmm. And that 7, and this was very important, that Diplo was related to the sort of ground zero Ebola exposure event.
So, because what happened was a video got posted of Diplo and Chris Rock showing that they had escaped the mud pit, basically. That everything had been shut down, but they were somehow able to hitchhike it with some fans and get in some kind of Humvee or whatever it was, some off-roading vehicle, and get on out of there, which is funny because then I saw there's photos of Chris Rock with Lizzo at Beyonce last night.
Wait, with her? Because, all right, I just... some things happened with me and her at this nightclub with a banana, and I'm just.
So what I'm trying to say is that there was a lot of Diplo imagery out on social media, and our boy Mehmet was quite smart as the prolific prankster that he is, and picked up on that saw that as an opportunity to
say that Diplo had Ebola, essentially. Mehmet wrote, did not have Diplo and Chris Rock broke Ebola quarantine at Burning Man with the help of a mysterious unnamed fan on my 2023 dystopia bingo card, but here we are. And so that was because a lot of people were quote tweeting everything with saying dystopian bingo card. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you played fucking bingo, dude? That's not how bingo cards are. It's just numbers on there. It's not like plague and, boils or whatever. It's just numbers. And so at this point, I just kind of kept tweeting variations of just me, Grappa, Starlink, Avicii, blackout curtains, and the Beats pill.
So Burning Man starts trending, and then Ebola starts trending. And then Ebola really starts trending. The shit got really picked up fast.
So someone posted a video of LAX getting evacuated, which really did happen, and then someone else stole that video and captioned it with a sort of just asking questions style post about it, why it was being evacuated due to a flight from Burning Man that was quarantined because of Ebola exposure. So the first actual journalist to reach out on the record, we got to give him credit. God bless him. God love him. You know him, the Epic Times.
That's crazy. At least that's so funny that they were the first ones to be like, let me just reach out to this guy and see what's up.
No, but the guy was like credulous or whatever one is where you believe it. The guy believed it. And then I think he looked into it and it's very obviously faked. More sort of news stories started essentially the way it worked was I posted all this stuff. And then other people posted a few other things.
I sent you the Trandle thing in the morning.
Liz wrote the Trandle series of text messages, which was fantastic. When I used Delta 8 gummies as your photo.
Oh yeah. We didn't know what was going down with the Burnchasm.
And I got to tell you, the names that we used were Baggins, Harache, Kindle, Trundle,
Trandle.
What?
Trandle.
Oh yeah, Trandle. Not
Cheyenne.
Trundle. Cheyenne and Marcuse. Marcuse was your name. And I used Delta 8 gummies for your picture. I cannot believe anyone and no disrespect, because I know some listeners probably did.
Yeah, you're crazy, man.
It's Drake, bro. Yeah. But all these crypto accounts started sort of taking the screenshots and recropping them, and then starting reporting it as there's rumors of Ebola at Burning Man.
Well, the best was when it made it to TikTok.
Yes.
Now there's some new terrifying information coming out that there's a virus on the loose in the festival and that people are getting really sick with boils, vomiting, hemorrhaging. This is a text from one of the festival goers, and he said, yo, just figured you should hear from me first. Daryl is crazy sick with something that has him coughing up really coagulated blood.
And then that got picked up by Barstool.
There is a very, very bad situation developing at Burning Man right now. This Twitter account, TrueAnon Pod, has been tweeting a lot about this. He's saying there's rumors on the ground here are that there's some sort of virus on the loose at Burning Man that causes boils, vomiting, hemorrhaging. Apparently, that's why they're not letting people in. No idea if this is true, but in RV all day.
And then that got picked up by gay guys.
So, no tears from me, but I hope everyone survives. Ebola outbreak? That's kind of crazy. Everybody stay safe and take your emergency.
And then finally, that got picked up by just regular old classic crazy people.
To all of the people in Burning Man, I am sorry that you fell into their trap. They is the bad guys, the evil ones, and they have an Agenda 2030 where they want to get rid of half the population of the planet by the year 2030. But, you should have kind of expected something because they don't want you around. And you just decided to go to Burning Man and say, hey, I'm going to walk right into the bad guy's trap, and now they're flooding you, and now they have Ebola over there.
So at this point, there are a number of debunking articles coming out. So Forbes,
once you've been boomed, you got to debunk.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm always saying that.
Forbes puts out one that is pretty straightforward in saying this is a hoax. There is no Ebola at Burning Man. But because so many people, it said like, no, there is no Ebola at Burning Man. But because so many people just retweeted a few tweets that were like, someone had changed it to say, yes, there is Ebola at Burning Man. They had to add an update to the Forbes article saying that the doctored screenshots were fake as well. So they had to re-debunk on their own debunking article. But a bunch of fake news starts coming out. Namely, Fox 11 says death at Burning Man sparks Ebola rumors on social media. This itself is fake news, as I did not know that someone had actually died at Burning Man.
Yeah, that didn't spark it.
It was Brace trying to get out of...
Mehmet.
It was Mehmet. It was Brace texting Mehmet to try to get out of reading this poli-sci book for like 20 minutes while I fucked around the internet. I had no idea that someone had died. All of these like basically like SEO, like that whole market of essentially like AI generated debunking websites, all Indian, start posting like, it's the fake. And then I think one of the piece de resistance is when the account belonging to the documentary died suddenly.
I love all of the replies in that are like, it's like, some woman with like a white kind of like icy cat avatar named like Lady Hectate. And it's like, we knew Marburg was coming.
Yes.
It's like all of the replies.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's, what the fuck is Marburg?
No, yeah.
Marburg's
don't tell us.
It's white Ebola? I don't want to, everyone kept being like, oh, like, it
has some relation to COVID and COVID-19 vaccine, 5G, get the facts.
Gotcha. Because a lot of the COVID 5G get the facts people were like, it's actually, like, this is happening. There is Ebola-like symptoms and mass death at Burning Man. FEMA is apparently, I don't know where the FEMA thing came. I think it's because of the fence thing that I said.
Yeah.
But
Earth movers too was a nice touch.
I said that there's earth movers. I was trying to imply that they're both putting up a fence and digging pits for bodies.
Burning Man, Ebola, 5G, coronavirus, get the facts.
But died suddenly, which is 500,000 Twitter followers. It was a documentary that was feeded by all of like the like really hardcore anti-vaccine people. The woke mRNA shit or whatever. They wrote, developing story. We are getting reports that there had been a confirmed Ebola outbreak on the ground at the Burning Man Festival in Nevada. Attendees have been told to shelter in place allegedly due to all the flooding. And one attendee has been pronounced dead without a cause of death given. And then they posted a cropped version, meaning they took out the tail part, of the text that Harache sent me. And I just want to tell you this. There is no confirmed outbreak of Ebola at Burning Man. There is a text that I sent to myself as Harache in my apartment. And then you have within like 15 hours, you have died suddenly, who have staked their careers on combating the medical, whatever, like the biomedical totalitarian state, completely just regurgitating it with absolutely not only no contextual awareness of like, this is so clearly fake, or maybe even I should look into this besides just reading a fake fucking text screenshot from Harache. And they knew they had to crop out Harache too, because that would make it less believable.
Of course. I mean, even Laura Loomer tweeted something. That was, when it got there, I was like, all right, this is fucking crazy.
And so at this point, it was fully out of our hands. And eventually I started pretending that I had Ebola and that Diplo was the source due to a triple kiss at Ground Zero, which I was...
I don't think I really followed this part of the story.
I kind of got bored and was like, well, not bored. I was just like, if I tweet about this too much, it'll just like... I wanted to continue the storyline, but
also like kill it.
I wanted to kill it because I wanted to post my usual stuff.
Yeah,
Mehmet's shirtless, all that. Mehmet's pantsless, all that kind of stuff. No, but like, I couldn't do it anymore. But so the storyline sort of petered out. But for the lore, the triple kiss was the cause of the Ebola outbreak, and Diplo escaped while the two women succumbed to it at the camp. At this point, though, it had fully gotten out of our hands and was being debunked by all these different sources, AOL, Newsweek, USA Today, all that kind of shit, all debunking it. but not even mentioning us, like mentioning second order rumors of this, which is really, I mean, it spread. It was almost a perfect hoax because Burning Man attendees, in fact, the medical tent at Burning Man had to deny the hoax.
Ebola? Okay, no. I work here on the playa in the hospital, and there is no Ebola. Have you seen Ebola cases here? No.
And then to cap it all off, I found a screenshot of somebody's like insane Twitter payout when Elon Musk started paying people, which, by the way, footnote on that afterwards, I found a screenshot of somebody getting paid like $12,000 for their tweets or whatever, and I posted that as if it would have been paid to me, and essentially implied that I had made all that stuff up in order to receive a large payout from Elon Musk.
A lot of people got mad at that.
A lot of people got mad at that. Everybody got kind of mad at that.
Yeah. Well, it was designed to get them mad.
Absolutely.